History paints her as just a seductress, doesn't it? A queen who used her beauty to bewitch the most powerful men. But what if Cleopatra's story, Egypt's last pharaoh, isn't about seduction at all? What if it's actually about a brilliant political mind, a multilingual strategist who outmaneuvered rivals and held her kingdom's fate? We're uncovering the complex truth behind the legend. Welcome to Legends Untold Section 1, Rise. Cleopatra arrived in 69 BCE, born into the Macedonian Greek Ptolemaic dynasty, a family ruling Egypt for nearly 3 centuries. By 21, her brother husband had pushed her out. But instead of surrendering, she famously rolled herself into a carpet, had it carried past guards, and landed at Julius Caesar's feet. She spoke perfect Latin, flawless Greek, and, crucially, Egyptian, a language no previous Ptolemy had learned. In one bold meeting, she flipped the power dynamic. Caesar needed money, and she needed an army. Within weeks, her brother was dead, and Cleopatra became sole ruler. Section 2, Alliance with Caesar. Their relationship wasn't just romance, it was a high-stakes joint venture, keep Egypt independent. Caesar backed her militarily, she backed him financially. Egypt's grain stabilized Rome's volatile food supply. She birthed a son, Caesarion, quietly advertising him as heir to both Egypt and Rome. When Caesar was assassinated in 44 BCE, Cleopatra hurried home, murdered her remaining siblings, and minted coins showing her alone, wearing Isis' diadem. She wasn't co-ruler anymore, she was pharaoh. If you're enjoying this rethink of an ancient icon, tap subscribe and stick around. Next, we'll explore how she doubled down with Mark Antony and almost split the Roman world in two. Section 3, Reign as Pharaoh. Back in Alexandria, Cleopatra governed like a modern economic minister. She stabilized currency, expanded grain exports, and opened new Red Sea ports to dodge Roman tariffs. Temple inscriptions show her cutting taxes during famines, while still generously funding the library and its research institute. She spoke at least 9 languages, corresponded with scholars, and was hailed as Philopatri's father-loving, because she poured state money into public works employing both Egyptians and Greeks. For the first time in generations, the two cultures felt like one country, not 2 armies sharing a river. Section 4, Gamble with Antony. When Rome split between Octavian, west, and Mark Antony, east, Cleopatra sailed to Tarsus with a fleet of silver-oared ships. Antony needed cash and ships, she needed another shield for Egypt. Their alliance was theatrical, he dressed as Dionysus, she as Isis, but behind the pageantry was cold strategy. Between 41 and 32 BCE, they swapped resources, she funded half his military budget, he granted her large chunks of the eastern Mediterranean coastline. Together, they planned a new Greco-Roman dynasty with Alexandria, not Rome, as its capital. Section 5, Fall. Octavian spun their partnership as a foreign queen corrupting a Roman general. Propaganda claimed Antony would move the capital to Egypt and effectively give Rome away. Public opinion turned, and in 31 BCE, the fleets met off Actium. When battle tipped, Cleopatra executed a strategic retreat, breaking the blockade with 60 ships and her treasury intact. Antony followed, Rome called it desertion. A year later, Octavian marched on Alexandria. Cornered, Antony fell on his sword. Cleopatra negotiated for her children, hid her youngest, and, when negotiations failed, took her own life on 12 August 30 BCE. Egypt became a Roman province, its 3-millennium pharaonic history over in a single stroke. So, the complex truth? Cleopatra wasn't a femme fatale toppling empires with perfume. She was the last sovereign of an independent Egypt, playing antiquity's most high-stakes poker game. She leveraged personal relationships, economic reforms, religious symbolism, and military alliances to keep her country whole. Rome still won, yet her legacy survived Roman smear campaigns, Shakespearean drama, and Hollywood clichés. Next time you hear her name, Remember the linguist, economist, strategist who almost rewrote the ancient world's map. If that surprises you, share this video with someone who still thinks he was just a pretty face with an asp.